Hello friends, it's so good to have you here with me today. Let's take a little trip together to the peaceful countryside, where the air is fresh and the world slows down. Through the magic of art, we'll step into tranquil rural scenes and find a moment of calm. Let's begin. There's something special about a barnyard. It's the heart of the farm, alive with energy, yet peaceful and full of purpose. Artists capture its beauty, the golden light on a tin roof, the character in old barns, the harmony of animals and people. These scenes invite us to slow down and find rustic peace. Art is a window to rural peace. Through the eyes of artists, we experience the calm and beauty of farm life. Each painting invites us to slow down, breathe, and find tranquility. Let's step through this window together, leaving the bustle behind, and immerse ourselves in these serene landscapes. Welcome to our gallery. The grand old barn stands proud, a gentle giant watching over the land. Artists capture its spirit, from cheerful red to weathered gray, blending into the landscape. It's more than a building, it's a beacon of home, a place of shelter, history, and peace. The soul of the farm and a beautiful place to begin. Now let's step into a place that's a little different but just as important. The dairy barn. It has its own special kind of charm. Often these buildings are painted a clean, bright white. They look so fresh and tidy against the green pastures. This is a place of routine and gentle rhythm. Every morning and every evening the cows come in from the fields. You can see them in these paintings, walking in a slow, patient line towards the barn. They know the way. They know it's time. There's a wonderful sense of order and calm in that daily ritual, a peaceful predictability that the artists capture so well. Inside the dairy, it's often cool and quiet. The air smells clean, mixed with the sweet scent of hay and the warm, earthy smell of the cows themselves. Artists use light in a special way when they paint these interiors. They show shafts of sunlight streaming through a high window, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. It creates a feeling that's almost like being in a cathedral of agriculture. It's a place of purpose, where the simple, essential work of producing milk happens day in and day out. There is a quiet reverence for this work, and you can feel it in the art. The stars of the dairy are, of course, the dairy cattle. Look how these painters portray them. They capture their gentle nature, their big, curious eyes, and their calm demeanor. You see them standing patiently in their stalls, or munching contentedly on their feed. Artists show us the subtle patterns on their coats, the black and white patches of a Holstein, or the soft brown of a Jersey. They aren't just anonymous animals, they have personality. The paintings express the quiet bond between the farmer and the herd, a relationship built on care, trust, and daily interaction. It's a beautiful partnership to see. The dairy is a symbol of nourishment and abundance. It represents the farm's ability to provide, to turn green grass into fresh, wholesome milk. It's a cycle of life that connects the land, the animals, and the people. These paintings of dairies and dairy cows remind us of that fundamental connection. They celebrate the simple, honest work that puts food on our tables. They find beauty in the clean lines of the milking parlor, the shiny metal of the milk cans, and the peaceful contentment of a well-cared-for herd. It's a quiet, essential part of the farm's heart, painted with respect and admiration. Just a short walk from the barn, the farmhouse is the heart of the farm, a place of warmth, rest, and family. In paintings, farmhouses look so inviting, with open doors and glowing windows. They're beacons of comfort, promising safety and togetherness at the end of each day. Artists capture this feeling, making us feel welcome every time. Look out at the rolling fields, stretching like a patchwork quilt, green in spring, gold in summer. Artists capture the vibrant colors, the movement of wind in wheat, and the promise of harvest. These landscapes offer a sense of freedom, peace, and the simple, profound beauty of the earth. Sometimes the most beautiful things are the simplest. The humble fence line, often overlooked, quietly shapes the landscape. It guides our eyes, marks boundaries, and tells stories of home and time. In its simplicity, the fence brings a special kind of beauty to every rural scene. As we look across the farm landscape, there are other structures that stand tall, reaching for the sky. The silo is one of them. It's a strong, simple shape, a tall cylinder usually standing right beside the barn. Silos are like sentinels, watching over the farm. Artists often use them to add a powerful vertical line to their compositions, a wonderful contrast to the long, horizontal lines of the fields and the horizon. They can be made of gleaming, corrugated metal that shines in the sun, or built from concrete staves that create a wonderful repeating pattern. They are symbols of preparedness, of storing up food for the animals for the long winter ahead. Then we have the windmill, another iconic feature of the rural skyline. There's just something so graceful and nostalgic about an old farm windmill. With its tall, slender tower and its spinning blades, it has both strength and elegance. It represents a clever partnership with nature, using the power of the wind to pump water for the livestock or the farmhouse. In paintings, a windmill can add a sense of movement and life to an otherwise still scene. Even if the blades are motionless, we can imagine them turning. We can almost hear the gentle creak and whir as they catch a breeze. Artists love to paint these structures at different times of day. A silo or a windmill silhouetted against a brilliant sunrise or sunset is a truly powerful image. The simple, dark shapes stand out against the incredible colors of the sky, creating a scene that is both dramatic and peaceful. They become more than just farm equipment. They become monuments. They represent self-sufficiency and a deep connection to the elements. They are part of the farm's machinery, but in art, they take on a poetic quality, standing as symbols of the enduring spirit of rural life. Together, the silo and the windmill are like punctuation marks on the landscape. They break up the horizon and give the farm a distinctive profile. They speak of a history of innovation and making do, of using the resources at hand to build a good life. Whether they are shown as brand new and functional or old, rusty and retired, they add a layer of story to the scene. They are the quiet giants of the farm, and through the eyes of the artist, we can appreciate their simple, functional beauty and the vital role they play in the heart of the farm. As dawn breaks, the farm awakens quietly. The sky shifts from deep blue to soft pink and gold, light pouring over fields and barns. Dew sparkles, a rooster crows, and the world stirs gently. Artists capture this peaceful, hopeful moment, reminding us of nature's simple, reliable beauty each new day. As the sun climbs higher, the golden hour bathes the farm in warm, glowing light. Morning chores begin, and the farm hums with gentle, purposeful activity. Long shadows stretch across the barnyard as animals graze and farmers work. Golden light streams into the barn, illuminating dust motes and hay. It's a celebration of a new day, full of energy and promise. At high noon, the sun stands at its peak, casting bright, direct light over the countryside. Colors are bleached, shadows fade, and the world slows down. Animals and people seek shade, resting in the heat. It's a moment of powerful, silent peace, nature's quiet pause before the afternoon begins. As the sun begins its slow descent in the west, the light on the farm changes once again. The afternoon has its own special character. The shadows, which had all but disappeared at noon, begin to stretch out again, but now in the opposite direction. They grow longer and longer as the hours pass, creating beautiful, dramatic patterns across the landscape. An afternoon light is often warm and clear, softer than the harshness of noon, but still bright. Artists love this time of day for the interplay of light and shadow, which brings out the shapes and forms of the land, the buildings, and the animals in a new way. This is a time when activity often resumes on the farm, but perhaps at a slightly slower pace than in the cool of the morning. You might see a tractor in a distant field, finishing the day's plowing, its path marked by the long shadow it casts beside it. The animals in the pasture might begin to graze more actively again as the heat of the day subsides. In these paintings, you can see the light catching the edges of everything, creating a lovely rim of light that separates objects from their background. It gives the whole scene a wonderful sense of depth and dimension. The warmth of the afternoon light gives the colors a rich, mellow quality. The greens of the pastures seem deeper, and the golds of a wheat field take on a burnished, coppery tone. The red barn and the white farmhouse seem to soak up this warm light, glowing with a soft intensity. It's a comfortable, pleasant light, the light of a day's work winding down. In these paintings, you can feel the satisfaction of a day well spent. The air is still warm, but it's losing its intense heat, and the first hints of the coming evening can be felt. Artists use these long afternoon shadows to create a sense of peace and tranquility. A fence line casts a repeating pattern of slanting lines across a field. A tall oak tree throws a vast, cool patch of shade where animals can gather. These shadows are not dark or menacing, they are soft and gentle. They are a visual representation of the passage of time, a quiet signal that the day is drawing to a close. Looking at these scenes of the late afternoon, we feel a sense of calm contentment, a peaceful transition from the labor of the day to the rest that the evening will bring. Now we come to one of the most spectacular moments of the day on the farm, the sunset. As the sun sinks toward the western horizon, it puts on a final, breathtaking show. The sky just explodes with color. We see brilliant oranges, deep reds, vibrant pinks, and rich purples, all blended together in a magnificent display. You know, artists are clearly inspired by this daily miracle, and they use their entire palette to try and capture its glory. The farm landscape becomes a silhouette against this fiery backdrop. The barn, the silo, the windmill, their familiar shapes become dark, powerful forms against the light. This is a time of profound beauty and quiet reflection. The day's work is done, the tools are put away, the animals are being brought back to the barn for the night. In these paintings, you can see a line of cows walking slowly home, their dark shapes moving against the glowing sky. A light might appear in the farmhouse window, a warm, welcoming beacon against the deepening twilight. The artists capture this feeling of homecoming, of the world settling down for the night. It's a moment to pause and simply be grateful for the beauty of the world and the peace at the end of the day. The light of the setting sun does magical things. It can set the surface of a pond on fire with reflected color. It can catch the edge of a cloud and turn it into a blazing streak of gold. It can send long, final rays of light streaking across the sky, like a farewell wave. Painters who specialize in sunsets understand how to use this intense, warm light to create a powerful emotional response. Looking at these paintings, we can feel a sense of awe, a touch of nostalgia, and a deep, peaceful calm. It's the perfect dramatic conclusion to the story of the day. Even after the sun has dipped below the horizon, the show is not over. The colors in the sky often become even more intense, a phenomenon artists call the afterglow. The deep reds and purples can linger for a long time, slowly fading into the darker blues of twilight. These paintings capture that final quiet burst of color. They represent the last moments of the day, a beautiful and gentle transition into the night. It's a time for stillness, for appreciating the grand finale of nature's daily performance before the stars begin to appear. The fire of the sunset has faded, and now a soft, quiet light settles over the farm. This is twilight, the gentle time between day and night. The sky is no longer bright, but it isn't completely dark either. It's a deep, velvety blue, perhaps with the first star or the pale crescent of a new moon beginning to shine. Artists paint this time with a limited palette of blues, grays, and purples, creating a mood of incredible peace and serenity. All the sharp details of the landscape soften and blur. The world becomes a place of simple, gentle shapes. On the farm, everything is quiet now. The animals are settled in the barn for the night. You can see it in these paintings. The barn is dark and silent, a large, comforting shape under the evening sky. The only light might be the warm, yellow glow from the windows of the farmhouse. This single point of light becomes the focus of the painting. It speaks of family, warmth, and safety. It's a beautiful symbol of home, a tiny island of light and life in the vast, quiet darkness of the countryside. It draws you in and makes you feel a sense of comfort and belonging. This is a time when the sounds of the day have been replaced by the sounds of the night. Looking at these tranquil scenes, you can almost hear the gentle chirping of crickets or the distant hoot of an owl. The air is cool and still. The artists who paint the twilight are masters of mood. They capture that unique feeling of the world being tucked in for the night. There is no work, no rush, just a profound sense of peace. It's a time for rest and for dreams, a time for the land itself to breathe and recover from the day. And so, our journey from sunrise to sunset comes to a close. We have watched the light change, and with it, the rhythm and mood of the farm. From the hopeful glow of dawn to the brilliant fire of sunset and the quiet peace of twilight, each time of day has its own unique beauty. These artists, through their wonderful work, have allowed us to experience this full cycle. They have shown us that the farm is not just a place of work, but a place of incredible beauty. A place that is constantly changing and yet, in its rhythms, is timeless. It's a beautiful, peaceful end to a beautiful day. Cows are the gentle giants of the farm, bringing peace and life to the pasture. Artists love to capture their calm beauty, unique patterns and quiet dignity. Whether grazing, resting, or simply standing, cows anchor the landscape, adding harmony and authenticity. They remind us of contentment and the simple rhythm of rural life. On the hillsides, sheep drift like white clouds, gentle and calm, while playful lambs leap around their mothers. Artists love their soft wool and the glow of sunlight on their backs. Goats, their lively cousins, bring humor and spirit, standing proud, nibbling mischievously, and adding character to the barnyard. Together, sheep and goats fill the farm with life, resilience, and personality. Let's not overlook the smaller but no less important residents of the barnyard, the feathered populace. Chickens are everywhere, adding spots of color and constant bustling activity. You can see them in these paintings, scratching in the dirt near the barn door, pecking for seeds and bugs. Artists have great fun painting them. They capture the proud strut of a rooster, with his magnificent jewel-toned tail feathers held high. He's the king of the coop, and he looks the part. Then, there are the hens, with their softer colors of brown, white, and speckled gray, clucking contentedly as they go about their business. The movement of chickens is a challenge that artists delight in. They are never still for long. A painting of a farmyard often includes a flurry of chickens that gives the whole scene a feeling of life and energy. They are scattered like colorful jewels across the dirt yard. Look how this artist has captured the light shining on their feathers, revealing iridescent shades of green and purple in the rooster's plumage. They are a symbol of the everyday, domestic side of farm life, providing the family with fresh eggs each morning. Their cheerful clucking and busybody nature are an essential part of the barnyard soundtrack, and where there's a pond or a puddle, you're likely to find ducks. They add their own special charm to the scene. Artists love to paint the glossy, emerald green head of a mallard drake, or the neat, clean white feathers of a farm duck. They show them waddling in a comical, determined line towards the water, or gliding effortlessly across the surface of a pond, leaving gentle V-shaped ripples in their wake. Their reflections in the water create a beautiful, doubling effect that painters use to add depth and interest to a composition. The sight of ducks on a pond is the very picture of rural peace. Together, the chickens and ducks represent the lively, chaotic, and joyful side of the barnyard. They are the common folk of the farm, always busy, always chattering. They fill the spaces around the larger animals and buildings with movement and color. A painting of a farm scene just wouldn't feel complete without a few chickens scratching in the foreground or a family of ducks heading for the pond. They are a vital part of the farm's ecosystem and a constant source of amusement and life. These artists celebrate their humble but essential presence with every colorful brushstroke. For centuries, the horse was the engine of the farm, a true partner in the hard work of agriculture. While tractors have taken over much of that labor, the horse remains a noble and beloved presence in the countryside. Artists paint them with a sense of admiration and respect. Look at the power in the shoulders of this heavy draft horse, a Belgian or a Clydesdale, with its massive hooves and gentle eyes. These paintings capture their immense strength, but also their willing and patient nature. We see them harnessed to a plow, turning over the dark earth, or pulling a wagon loaded high with hay. The beauty and grace of the horse make it a favorite subject for artists. They take great care in rendering their sleek muscles, their flowing manes and tails, and their intelligent, expressive faces. A horse's coat can be a canvas in itself, whether it's the deep, glossy black of one horse or the dappled gray of another. The way the light shines on the Nyasum Nine, their poils, their powerful bodies, defining every muscle, is a challenge that artists embrace. These paintings are not just portraits of an animal, they are tributes to a historic partnership between human and beast, a relationship built on mutual trust and shared work. Even when they are not working, horses are a picture of elegance. An artist might paint a horse standing alone in a pasture, its head held high as it surveys its surroundings, or perhaps a mare and her foal, standing side by side in a quiet, tender moment. These scenes capture the horse's spirit and its social nature. We see them grazing peacefully, swishing their tails in the afternoon sun, or galloping freely across an open field, a picture of pure energy and freedom. The horse brings a sense of nobility and wild beauty to the otherwise domesticated landscape of the farm. Whether they are shown as powerful work animals or graceful companions, horses hold a special place in the art of the barnyard. They represent a connection to a time when the rhythm of the farm was set by the steady pace of hooves on the land. These paintings evoke a sense of nostalgia for that era, but they also celebrate the enduring beauty of the animal itself. The horse is a symbol of strength, spirit, and a deep, unspoken bond with humankind, and artists honor that legacy in every powerful and graceful line they paint. In nearly every farm scene, if you look closely, you might find an unsung hero, the farm dog. This isn't a pampered pet. This is a working member of the farm family. Artists often include them as a small but significant detail that adds so much life and story to the painting. You might see a border collie, low to the ground, its eyes intensely focused on a flock of sheep, ready to move them with a quick dash and a knowing stare. These paintings capture the dog's incredible intelligence and its instinct for herding. The dog is a living tool, a vital partner in managing the livestock. The farm dog is also a loyal companion. In many paintings, you'll see the dog trotting faithfully at the farmer's side, heading out for the morning chores or returning at the end of the day. Its presence speaks of a deep, unspoken bond. The dog is a witness to the farmer's long hours and hard work, offering silent support and unwavering loyalty. An artist might paint the dog resting on the porch of the farmhouse, its head on its paws, but its ears alert, always watching, always on guard. It is the self-appointed guardian of the homestead, a symbol of devotion and watchfulness. Painters capture the personality of these dogs so well. It might be the shaggy, good-natured look of a mixed-breed farm dog, or the sturdy, dependable stance of an Australian shepherd. They are not always pristine. They might have a little mud on their paws, or a burr in their coat, signs of a day spent exploring the fields and forests. This authenticity is part of their charm. The farm dog in a painting makes the scene feel more real, more lived in. It adds a touch of narrative, a hint of the daily interactions and the deep affection that exists between the people and their animals. So while the cows and horses might dominate the landscape, the humble farm dog plays a crucial role. It is a symbol of intelligence, loyalty, and tireless work ethic. It bridges the world between the farmhouse and the fields, between the people and the livestock. These artists understand that a farm is not just a collection of buildings and animals, but a web of relationships. And the relationship with the faithful farm dog is one of the most special. It's a small detail that speaks volumes about the heart and soul of farm life. Pigs and other quiet farm friends add unique character to the barnyard. Artists love painting their charm, contentment, and connection to the earth. A mother pig with her piglets is a heartwarming scene. Barn cats and geese add mystery and life to the scene. Every animal, from horse to chicken, plays a part in the barnyard's rich tapestry. Through art, we're invited to appreciate the beauty and diversity of farm life. In these beautiful paintings, we may not see a person, but the farmer's presence is everywhere. The neat rows, sturdy fences, and tidy barns all tell the story of unseen hands at work. These scenes show a quiet partnership between people and the land. The artist helps us feel the deep, enduring bond between the farmer and their place on earth. The artist sometimes paints families on the farm, capturing the passing of knowledge and tradition from one generation to the next. A simple scene, an older farmer guiding a child, tells a story of roots, belonging, and the deep connection between people and land. These paintings remind us that a farm is more than a business, it's a living legacy, a cradle for family and memory. The seasons shape farm life, and artists capture this cycle: spring's hope, summer's growth, autumn's harvest, and winter's rest. Each painting reflects the patience, hard work, and faith that define rural tradition, from the promise of seeds in dark soil to the golden abundance of harvest. The rhythm of the year is celebrated in every brushstroke. These works honor the enduring connection between farmer and land. Rural traditions thrive on community. Barn raisings and county fairs are vibrant subjects for artists. Paintings of neighbors building together or families celebrating at the fair capture the spirit of cooperation, pride, and joy. These scenes show that farming is not just solitary work, but a shared culture built on support and celebration. The art reflects the heart of rural life: unity, friendly rivalry, and collective achievement. Much of farm wisdom is passed down through conversation and story, not books. Artists capture quiet moments, two farmers talking, a family sharing tales on the porch, where knowledge and identity are handed from one generation to the next. These paintings honor the living tradition that sustains the farm, a legacy of experience and storytelling. A well-kept farm radiates quiet pride. Fresh paint, tidy fields, healthy animals. Artists focus on these details, revealing the farmer's dedication, skill, and fulfillment in a life of hard work. The beauty of the farm itself becomes a testament to the care and love invested in it. Realist artists use oil paint to capture every detail of rural life: the texture of wood, the glow of sunlight, the vibrant colors of the land. Their brushstrokes create scenes so vivid you can almost feel them, honoring the farm's beauty with honesty and precision. Through careful observation and mastery of light, they invite us to see the extraordinary in the everyday. These paintings are windows into the soul of the countryside, rendered in rich, lasting color. Watercolor and Impressionism capture fleeting moments, not every detail. The paint flows, colors blend, and light shimmers across the countryside. Artists use quick brushstrokes and let water do the work, creating fresh, spontaneous scenes. These styles evoke emotion, showing us the gentle, ever-changing beauty of rural life. Folk art comes straight from the heart. Self-taught artists use bold colors, simple shapes, and joyful scenes to celebrate rural life. Modern styles, from minimalist to abstract, capture the peaceful essence of the countryside in new ways. No matter the style, each painting shares the enduring spirit and beauty of the farm. Our journey through Barnyard Art comes to a gentle close. We've wandered through peaceful scenes, weathered barns, tranquil fields, and the simple beauty of rural life. These paintings are more than pictures, they're quiet moments, windows into a world of calm, hard work, and timeless values. A gallery of quiet moments to return to. Always. Why do scenes of rural life hold such power over our imagination? They speak to a longing for simplicity, peace, and connection to nature. The countryside calls to us with a promise of calm and nostalgia, whether real or imagined. It's a timeless source of comfort, inspiration, and quiet joy that endures. As we leave this beautiful gallery of Barnyard Art, I hope you feel rested and refreshed. I hope these scenes have brought a little bit of the country's calm into your day. But the journey doesn't have to end here. The real magic of this kind of art is that it teaches us how to see. It encourages us to find the beauty not just in a painting, but in the world around us. You don't have to be on a farm to find these moments of peace. They are everywhere, waiting to be noticed. It might be the way the morning light comes through your window, or the simple shape of a tree against the sky. This is an invitation to cherish the simple joys. The joy of a warm cup of coffee in the morning. The joy of a quiet walk. The joy of watching a pet sleep peacefully. The joy of a conversation with a friend. The artists we've seen today are masters at finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. They have shown us that a weathered fence post, a rusty hinge, or a simple line of cows can be a subject for a beautiful work of art. They invite us to look at our own lives with that same artistic eye, to find the moments of grace and beauty in our own daily routines. Perhaps you'll feel inspired to find your own countryside, your own personal barnyard. It might be a local park, a community garden, or even a pot of herbs growing on your windowsill. It's any place where you can connect with the simple, life-giving rhythms of nature. It's a place where you can slow down and feel grounded. The peace we've felt today doesn't only exist within the frame of a painting, it exists in the real world, and these paintings are a map that can help us find it. They remind us what to look for: quiet, simplicity, and the honest beauty of a life lived with care. Thank you so much for joining me on this calming journey through Barnyard Art. It has been a real pleasure to share these beautiful works with you. I hope you carry the peaceful feeling of these scenes with you throughout your day. Remember to take a moment, every now and then, to just breathe and appreciate the simple, wonderful world around you. Find your own quiet pasture. Until we meet again, I wish you all the best. Be well, and be good to one another.